Hello, everybody. This is Martha Alter Hines with Living the One Light. And so in this video, I've been making a lot of videos leading up to this first eclipse that we're having on October 14th, 2023. Today is 2 days before that eclipse. And in my praying this morning, I was told to make yet another video. I think because the energies are moving so quickly and there are so many key components of, it seems like, what the spirit world is wanting to convey through me and maybe would resonate for you. And this this particular message, when I look at the astrology coming up, I see the resonance of it for at least the next month. But actually, anytime you're listening to this video, I am sure it is precisely what you're needing if you're resonating with me right this second. So, okay. So what I was getting shown and told in my praying this morning is this really beautiful, exquisite set of messages around the opportunity we have, that the spirit world is saying we have right now, and in any moment, really. But if you happen to be listening to this as we're entering this eclipse season, or as we're in this eclipse season, as any moment you're listening to this, you have this opportunity, but it's particularly alive right now as I'm recording this, to have a radical, complete shift, total radical shift in our karmic patterning, in our relationship to karma, and our relationship to the patterns, the structures we have known, we have chosen to engage in throughout eons, throughout maybe all of our lifetimes, in all of our existences. So I've been saying some of these things in previous videos, but I want to take a moment in this video to really drop in very carefully and convey some very specific things that are arising and that the spirit world is showing me very clearly. And I'm doing that. As I'm doing this, a lot of you write to me and say that you notice that I'm, in a sense, channeling as I'm talking. I'm not technically channeling. When I channel, it's a different thing, but yes, when I'm speaking this, especially today in this video, I mean, I always do this, but right now I'm really trying to be very precise so that I'm conveying exactly what it is that's wanting to move through me for you. So that's why, some people say you speak slowly or you pause a lot or that kind of thing. That's why. It's because this is not coming from my brain. This is what I'm really it's coming through from the spirit world, and I'm trying to be really, 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 really sure that I'm precisely conveying exactly, accurately what is wanting to come through. So just to give you context. And for those of you who have already signed up for the eclipse gathering that I'm holding with Chris Skidmore, that we're having a two-part gathering for the eclipses on each day of the eclipse. The first one is coming up this weekend, and then the second one is coming up in 2 weeks, the second eclipse in this season. And you're still welcome to sign up if you haven't yet and you feel called to be there. But for those of you who have signed up, I feel like this video might be a really key, not for all of you necessarily, but for any of you who feel called to listen, a really key entry point, in a sense, energetically, to maybe what is wanting to move and come alive in you over this eclipse season and through our time together in that container. And for those of you who don't feel called to be part of that eclipse gathering with me and Chris, still, you're going to be, we'll all be having an eclipse experience, of course. And so my sense is, my hope is, and my goal is that whatever's meant to come through in this video can can really help to ground in and help you align and click in with whatever is meant to come alive and move for you in this time. So I hope that this, whatever's coming through today in this video, is going to be essentially really healing for you. That's my goal, my prayer. In whatever way is in the highest good for you and the all it is. Okay. So I'm just going to drop in and again, I'm trying to get this really precisely accurate in what's wanting to come through. Yeah. Okay. So what the spirit world is saying is that what they're showing me is that it is absolutely crucial that as much as we can, in a grounded way, not in a spiritual bypass way, not in a like pretend everything's hunky-dory when it's not, but in a the most conscious way we possibly can, with the nodes in Aries and Libra, and especially with these eclipses with the nodes in Aries and Libra, both now and next spring, and then again next fall. In general, this is a time where we're being held by the cosmos, by ourselves, by our souls, by the all that is, by the divine, to radically shift our relationship, our karmic patterning, specifically around the Aries Libra dynamics. And so part of the Aries Libra dynamics is the masculine feminine relationship, how I relate to somebody I can, experience as other, as outside of myself, and also how I relate to myself. So I've said a lot about that previously, and a few days ago I put out a video where I talked about the cosmos as a medicinal being, which a lot of you really resonated with, and I really appreciated your feedback on that. So if you haven't heard that video, that this is kind of building from that set of thoughts. Okay, so we're being held in this time to radically let go, transform these Aries Libra dynamics. And we have Pluto squaring the nodes, so it's like mega opportunity for transformation. And to build on that, what the spirit world is saying is that, and showing me, is that basically we have this opportunity to connect with and find in ourselves the highest vibrational essence of our own inner feminine and our own inner masculine, and to do that within ourselves. And what they're showing me is us each as a crystal. So I'm in my lab here, I have some crystals, and I have this one in particular that they keep showing. I actually got this crystal in Mount Shasta this past summer. And yeah, long story, but I happened to be passing through Mount Shasta. That is a whole long story in and of itself, with my kids. And the one thing I felt like I was supposed to do was to get a crystal from Mount Shasta. So I went to a crystal store, because of course there are crystal stores in Mount Shasta. And I thought I was meant to get kind of like a raw crystal from the area of Mount Shasta. So I went into this shop, and there were lots of bazillions of crystals. And anyway, turned out this is the one that I was meant to get. And it's not from the Mount Shasta area at all. It's from a central part of India, and which is, yeah, South Asia is where I grew up. So that's a whole interesting thing in and of itself. But so this crystal is the one I'm being shown. And so what I'm getting shown in my praying, and I'm getting shown it right now, is that when we come into ourselves as this crystalline light being, it's like we we're able to connect with the part of us that is the perfect, beautiful, crystalline earth temple of the divine, right? So there's a lot of talk about we're moving from our carbon body to our crystalline light body. My human brain, my logical brain doesn't totally get that. And yet, absolutely, in my praying, I am shown that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Yes, we are moving into our crystalline light body being. So a key component in that, what was really coming through today in my praying, what this is the part that they're really wanting me to convey, is that a huge part of moving into our crystalline light being is radically letting go of the karmic patterning we've been in for probably, again, maybe all of our existences in the time-space continuum period. Certainly our lifetimes probably on Earth, but no, I'm feeling it. It's all of our existences and through the whole time-space continuum. The whole time-space continuum is it's a womb, it's a chrysalis of change, of learning, of transformation. That's what a chrysalis is. And so we've had patterning that we've chosen to play out through this whole time we've been embodied in various forms in this time-space continuum. So the ultimate reality is that we are source, we are the light, we are the divine. We know that. I mean, that's the ultimate truth. And yet, for whatever reasons, we've chosen to incarnate in this time-space continuum, continually over and over and over again, and to play out certain karmic patterning. So what the spirit world is just so adamant about, so clear about, is that we often, and if this doesn't resonate, please let it wash out. This is not me speaking an absolute truth. This is me just conveying what is coming through in my own praying, and if it fits, great, and if it doesn't, great. So I just want to put that caveat there. What they're saying is, through most lifetimes, we have engaged with the patterning of the structures of what we feel we are, what we feel like we need to be, whether, let's say we identify maybe with the feminine. I'm speaking here for myself. If we identify more with the feminine energetic, and we've been in a certain energetic with the masculine, we typically have played that out over and over and over and over again in various forms, in various ways, in various places, to the nth degree. And similarly with many other patternings around various relationships to power and control and hurt and love and all of it, life. And typically when we think about karmic patterning, there can often be a sense that it's sort of inevitable, like we're caught in that wheel of karma and we need to just keep doing it over and over again, and eventually maybe, work our way out of it or whatever. But what they're saying is, right now now is a moment when we can essentially step out of it, again, not in a bypassing way, not in a way that denies the truth of the hurt and the pain that's potentially still there and still needs to be healed and all of that, not denying it, not ignoring it, and yet coming into a recognition that the ultimate truth is that it's not real and that it's not actually who we are. So who we actually are is the us that is the void, the us that is the all that is, the us that is the light, the us that is everything, all of it, all the dynamics and none of the dynamics, all at the same time. So So yeah, what they show me visually is, again, this crystal, just like, like this crystal, and how in order to really release the karmic patterning and then come into ourself as this crystalline light being, which is where they're needing us to go. So again, my human brain is saying, what are you talking about? and then my spirit being and the spirit world is so clear and so adamant and so consistent with this message that, yeah, no, we need to be releasing the more dense karmic sense of what we've been, and radically let it go and come back into ourself as the spirit being that we are. Because then partly the part of the because is that then when we let go, we then can come into our crystalline light being. If we hang on, if we're still feeling the need to cycle in the karmic pattern, whatever it happens to be, we're stuck, and we can't come into this crystalline light form way of being. And again, not to deny that that's real, then there might be, continual things we need to work through with that. And at the same time, we can radically let go of it, even just for a moment, and come into this free place in ourselves that then allows this crystalline light form to form, to be. And what they are showing me in that also is that it's like they're calling it spindles. Again, my human brain is not understanding this. I'm just conveying, and maybe some of you will have insights help me understand what it is I'm being told here. But essentially, so if we imagine ourselves as a crystalline light being like this crystal, they're showing me there are spindles of crystalline light form that come together and create this crystalline light being that is each of us. And the spindles are the energetic, the pure essence, the purest, most pure, perfect essence of ourselves as divine feminine and divine masculine, as one, coming together, boom, and creating this crystalline light form. So, and that's all in ourselves. That's not me, let's say, as a feminine with an outer masculine coming together and creating a light form. That might be true. That might be a thing as well. But this is talking about me as a being of light. This applies to any of us, right? When I'm saying me as a being of light, I am the pure essence of light. I am the pure essence of the divine feminine, and I am the pure essence of the divine masculine, as one, completely purely, having nothing to do with any karmic patterning that I've chosen in my gazillion lifetimes to play out, right? Over and over and over again. That's all true and all been real and all been part of my own karmic dance. And at the same time, what they're needing us to do now is wake up into this way of being, this reality that is ourselves as the crystalline light form of the divine that we are. So that's us as earth, that's us as light, that's us as the divine feminine, that's us as the divine masculine, grounded, centered, completely, totally aligned, and clear of that karmic stuff. Again, if even for just a moment, and And again, in a grounded way, in a way that's not in denial, and that's not shaming us if we still are dealing with karmic stuff. That's not the point. So this is complicated. It's like it's a both and kind of a thing. Yeah, so what they're showing me, what they're saying is, they're having me channel this set of 8 books that I've talked about in various videos. So the first 3 are published: Living the One Light, Gaia Speaks, and The Cosmos Speaks. And those, the set of 8 is, it's a spiral of the journey that maybe many of our souls are taking right now. So the first book is Living the One Light, which is a remembering of ourselves as light. Gaia Speaks is a remembering and a journey of ourselves as the earth, as earth beings. The Cosmos Speaks is ourselves as the cosmos, and various, actually I have them right here. I don't know where Living the One Light is, but here's Gaia Speaks, here's the Cosmos Speaks. So the Cosmos Speaks is, various messages from cosmic beings about the reality of existence. And then the second set of 3, which are not published yet, are Love Speaks, The Goddesses Speak, and The Gods Speak. So I've spoken a lot about those because it's what I'm working on at the moment and sitting with, and they're about ourselves as the infinity of the divine feminine, the infinity of the divine masculine, and the two coming together, healing and releasing that karma. That's what we are in, precisely. That's exactly what these eclipses are all about, is that set of books. It's the Love Speaks, really. It's the inner divine union, the outer divine union, all as one. But then book 7, which comes after that set of 3, is called The Crystals Speak. So what they were showing me in my prayers today is just, I actually started crying when they showed this to me. It's like, when we think about healing our relationship between the feminine and the masculine, or the divine feminine, the divine masculine, we can get really drawn into, maybe caught up into this idea of that healing needing to happen between men and women, or people who identify as the masculine and people who identify as the feminine, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's not true. In other words, that is partially the truth. That's part of the truth. And what they're showing me is that really that ultimate healing can't happen until we realize and recognize and remember that we're all as one inside the one, inside me, inside the divine. So I actually spoke about this in the original video that I made for this first eclipse, where I talk about everything that is other is also me. If you want to go back and listen to that video, I will link it with this too. But it's very, very related to that. So it's, what they're saying is that, yes, certainly we need to work things out so we can get along with others and clear the karma between us and other. Absolutely, that is important. And that's probably a big part of what will be coming up for many of us in the time of these eclipses, for sure. And the ultimate healing happens when we, on a structural energetic level, essentially come back into these spindles. The funniest wording, I don't know. Tell me if this is making sense to you, but yeah, these spindles of ourselves as the pure essence of the divine feminine, and the pure essence of ourselves as the divine masculine, as one, together, clicking together, boom, into this crystalline light being that is us, that is each of us, and ultimately is all of us, is the divine itself. Yeah. And then, interestingly, book 8 is going to be called The Light Speaks. So again, what they're also showing me this morning, you know, in my praying lately is so yes, so we are being asked to come into these crystalline light forms, the crystalline light being that is us. But of course, ultimately the truth, of course, is that we are the light. So I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not, my own journey isn't, my own growing isn't quite to the light speaks yet. And so I can't really speak to that part yet because I'm just not energetically, vibrationally there. I'm not being shown that part yet. But what I am being shown is that it, you know, the journey doesn't end by becoming the crystalline light being. That's it's a gateway. That the being the crystalline light being, what they're saying, showing me is it's being the crystalline light being is actually it's a form of being to just basically catalyze us back into the reality that we are light. So we start as light, we end as light, we're always light. But there's something in this journey, you know, that's represented in this set of 8 books for whatever reason, that seems to be the spiral of the dance that maybe many of us are doing. And again, these books are channeled. This is not my brain. I don't really get it. I'm getting it more and more over time, over these years where I'm being asked to hold space for these books, and channel them, and the work that I'm doing and the interactions I have with you and myself and all of it. So I can't rationally explain it at this point. Maybe, I don't know if I ever will be able to, but I'm getting it more and more that there's something really key. What I think they're saying is, yes, we start as light, living up the one light, right? We remember that we are the earth. We remember that we are the cosmos. We remember that we are the totality, infinity of the divine feminine, the purity of the divine feminine. Similarly, we remember that we are the divine masculine. We are the totality and the infinity and the beauty of the divine masculine. We remember that we are the feminine and the masculine as one in ourselves, in perfect balance and harmony. That's these eclipses right now. That's where we are. That's exactly what the cosmos is supporting us to do right now. And then as those click together and transmute all the pain, you know, the karmic stuff that we've been working through for eons and eons and eons, when we've had the sense of being separate as feminine and masculine, which is an illusion. We're not separate. We're one, in ourselves. We're one, feminine and masculine as one, and the non-binary and the gender fluid, all of it, right? We come back into a clicking, and then when we click back together inside ourselves, we let go of all those karmic stories that we made up. Suddenly, we can be this ultimate, highest crystalline light form that is who we actually really are. And then once we click back into that crystalline light form, which is, you know, I feel like we're on the exactly on the threshold of precisely that, then that becomes the temple where we then remember ourselves as the light on an ultimate level that, again, is, you know, just, yeah, there we go. That's the journey. That's the whole journey that these books are, you know, holding space for, and that maybe many of us are in. I'm just tuning in for a second. Yeah. And what I'm feeling is that when we're in that crystalline light form, then we become a conduit of light. We always have been, we always are. But right, yeah. When we're stuck in the karmic patterning, it gets in the way. It's like our energetic field has blocks and is stuck and can't be this pure conduit of light in our ultimate sense that we really are. Yeah. Beautiful. Wow. So powerful. I could just be in that for a really long time. I'm going into a very different space. Okay. So just bringing myself here to be able to speak to you in human words. Yeah. So, this is, wow, I'm just, yeah, really powerful. And this is, again, if you feel called to be part of the eclipse, the 2-part eclipse gathering that I'm holding with Chris Skidmore, this is feeling like a big part of what's needing and wanting to come through for all of us. I feel something so incredibly powerful wanting to happen in that container. And already a lot of you are signed up, and I'm super, super excited and honored to be able to hold that space with you. And if you're feeling drawn in, called to be part of it, also, definitely feel free to join. You can join anytime at all. And you can be there live or not live. And wow, I'm just, so much is pouring through here. So yeah, it's hard for me to keep my eyes open because I'm just being drawn into the light in a really, really powerful way. Great. Yeah. And then so much more to come, but yeah, part of what I'm also feeling and seeing is that this crystalline light form that I feel us being called into with these eclipses as one place where there's a catalyst for it. I've mentioned this before, but starting in January, I'm going to be holding a series through the year of 2024 where we are held to come into our ultimate divine blueprint, our ultimate divine energetic blueprint, which is this crystalline light form, essentially. So I'll be sharing more about that. But it's just pouring through me right now. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. And right. That's what's, yeah, it's all gelling. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. For those of you who are part of the Spirit Allies series that I'm holding this fall, for 4 months right now, that series is also kind of energetically laying the groundwork for ultimately coming into this crystalline light form in whatever way is exactly right for each of us, for you. And if you feel called to be part of that, it's still ongoing. We started with, in August, we were focusing on connecting with beings of light, unicorns, and angels. Then last month we connected with earth beings like fairies, gnomes, elves, things like that. This month we're focusing on connecting with ocean beings. And then next month we're going to be connecting with inner mountain beings, which are the beings who have really, really catalyzed and shown me so much about this crystalline light form reality. So I'm extra excited about next month. I mean, all of these months are beautiful, but there's something about, I was told to end with the inner mountain beings, which I find really interesting, because then I feel like that is then the portal to something that's meant to come through next month, is then going to help us, for any of you who feel called to join me starting in January, to do this year-long holding space for us to come into our ultimate divine energetic blueprint, which is again related to this crystalline light form way of being and the ultimate reality of beings of light, really. Yeah, so much more. I can feel so much more coming. That feels like where I'm supposed to pause right now. So yes, and for those of you who are already part of and feel called to come in to be part of the Infinite Soul Wisdom Astrology 101 course, that will also be, drawing on being part of this whole, what they call portal of remembering. And that course will be more focused, of course, on astrology. But if you're feeling called to be part of either or both of those things, they're like interlocking components of the same idea, which is the one series will be more about our energetic blueprint, our energetic body system, and won't really involve astrology. And then the astrology course will be a portal of remembering on all kinds of levels. Certainly probably energetic, but kind of a bigger picture of things. And then, yeah, anyway, so some of you might feel called to do both. Some of you might feel called to do just one. Some of you might feel called to do neither, and that's all great. And yeah, beautiful. But again, if you're listening to this before or during this particular eclipse season in October of 2023, and also, actually this is incredibly relevant for the eclipse season of March and April of 2024, and then also actually in the fall of 2024. I just wish you blessings, so many blessings. Yeah, and I'll just add in one astrological point that coming into my cognitive brain for a second here. What I'm also noticing is that as I'm recording this, Saturn has it's going retrograde, and it has just re-entered 0 degrees of Pisces, which is the degree that it's going to go direct at. So Saturn is going to go direct at 0 degrees 30 minutes of Pisces on November 4th, 2023. And as it has just now entered the 0 degree point of Pisces, it's actually in an exact trine with Mars. Mars just entered Scorpio in the last few hours or something. And so it's trining, right this minute, it's trining Mars. And it just passed its opposition, well, Venus just passed its opposition with Saturn. But the other really big thing happening right now, as Saturn is going to be stationing to go direct at 0:30 of Pisces, is that it's in an exact square with Sedna. So, that just on a very brief level, I feel that energetic of Saturn coming to the degree where it's going to station direct at 0 of Pisces, and then in that square with Sedna, is really, I mean, it's dawning on me, Saturn has to do with structure. Pisces is the all that is. Pisces is the ultimate nothing and everything. So, and then Sedna has to do with us radically letting go of the patriarchal conditioning we've been in. And Saturn has to do with patriarchal, just conditioning in general. And Sedna, gets her her fingers basically cut off by her father as Sedna is trying to grab onto the boat. She wants her father to save her life, and he doesn't. Instead, he hits her hands and has her essentially drown, but her fingers become the creatures of the sea. And she, as she drowns, as she dies to this old way of being, she becomes the goddess of the sea. So this dying to the patriarchy, to the old structures, actually results in magic. It results in the ultimate empowerment that there is. And similarly, we have, Saturn coming to 0 degrees of Pisces, squaring Sedna, is just fascinating to me. That yes, that's exactly what, again, we're being supported to do, called in to do, is we can let go radically of this karmic patterning. Saturn, Pluto squaring the nodes, and Saturn currently is ruling Pluto that is squaring the nodes. We let go of that old patterning, radically let it go. And then what happens? We become the magic that we actually are, right? We become that crystalline light being that we are. We become this magic that maybe we didn't even realize was like maybe we can't see it if we think we need to be caught up in that karmic wheel turning and turning and turning, in those stories that we want XYZ relationship, or so and so hurt me, or whatever it is. If we stay in those stories, we might not see the beautiful magic being that we are, the beautiful magic way that we're being called into altogether as well. And this creation that's trying to emerge right now, as each of us, as all of us, as the all that is, as one being, really. Okay, I think that's everything for right now. I hope that made sense. It was pretty not yeah, it's coming directly from the divine and the spirit world. So I give it in that spirit. And I'd love to hear any of your thoughts, any of your wisdom. I always love it, and I love when we gather together and share together. And so please, yeah, if you feel called to be part of anything I'm holding at any moment, my membership, this upcoming eclipse gathering, the astrology course next year, that series that I'll be doing with the divine blueprint, energetic blueprint series, the Spirit Allies series, any of it, all of it, please reach out. And I just thank you so much for being here. I hope that in whatever way you're called to spend this time, this eclipse season, your soul journey, your journey of remembering who you are, I hope that you hope and pray and send intentions that you receive anything and everything that you need, that is in your ultimate highest good and the ultimate highest good of the all that is. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you soon.